I'm Russ Milheim from the Direct. Thank you for talking to me today about Magic Hour.
Yeah,
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty
good.
good, good.
Where are you, Ross? Can I just ask? I like to know.
Oh, it's all good. I'm in North Hollywood. What about you guys?
Hey, right on.
Where are you guys located right now?
We're in sunny Santa Barbara where it's raining.
Nice.
We're at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival with our world premiere of Magic Hour.
Yes,
That's just a little, what we're up to today.
just that.
Just casually.
Whole
Yeah,
thing.
just like you do.
Now, Magic Hour follows Harriet Peterson, who, someone who gets a boost of motivation to make a big life change, pivot her entire world. In that same vein, for both of you, if you weren't actors, what career paths do you think you might have taken?
Oh my God, these are hard-hitting questions,
Ross.
Ross.
Wow. Yes.
You go first.
Okay. What I think, honestly, what I always hope aspirationally, this is going to be sort of a long-winded, annoying answer. Aspirationally, I always feel like, boy, I hope that some of the things I do land in a way that I won't say changes people's lives, but definitely opens them up a bit. So I think it would be something along those lines, maybe more directly of service,
Mm.
if I may, of like, how am I connecting with people every day? Maybe locally, maybe in a community, maybe I don't know. I'd like to believe it would be some type of version of social work or help. Now, that might be highfalutin. Maybe I would just be like working at Starbucks the way I was in the beginning. But yeah, that, or maybe some form of journalism. I wish I could be more specific.
Yeah, I mean, it's so, there's so many times where you're like, "Ugh, it's so selfish to be an actor." But I think I would still be in the creative world. I just might be behind the scenes, like helping to run a theater, or helping in some way, just needing, because I just think about what I was drawn to when I was a kid, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this school show,
Mm,
even if I'm just on crew.
mm.
Like, you just like I just need to be in that world. So if I couldn't be in this world, I truly don't know. And I think that's why you would do it. If you could come up with something else that was much less dangerous, your bottom line,
Right.
I think you probably would.
Mm,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would probably backstage setting up the prop table.
hmm I'd
Now,
be, yeah, I mean,
Miriam, at the beginning of the film, Harriet makes the choice to go to film school, but she hides it from her family. Why does she make this choice?
Why does she hide it? It's a really good question. It's a central question
mm,
because I think, and she even says it, is the reason I didn't tell you is because somehow I knew I would fail.
mm,
I knew I wouldn't be able to do it, and I couldn't come to terms with that. And so the only way I could do it was to hide that from everyone, including myself. And so that when she thinks she does fail, ultimately, she's like, I knew it. I knew I wouldn't make it, and that's that voice in all of our heads that's like, it's never going to work. You're never going to do it, And the only way for her to shut that voice up is to keep it hidden from anyone who might elevate that voice.
Yeah.
mm.
Josh, can you paint a picture where Bob is mentally, and where he is when all this is happening, when she's making these
Uh,
complicated choices?
yes, in a tiny, tiny box of
Of
me. In
narcissism.
a tiny box of how do I get what I want immediately? Although I do find the one thing that's interesting about Bob, other than like just being a narcissistic jerk, is that he's having a child with someone else and has a, young woman in his own home that he's supposedly helping raise. And, that's interesting as a choice. I know we don't see a whole lot of that, but where is he? I think he's living like in a lot of secrecy and a lot of sort of like versions of what serves Bob, you know.
That's interesting you say that though, because it's really like the two of them are not at all being honest with each other about
No,
who they are.
no.
And so that's not really some people who should be together. But what happens is that when you are with the person that you want to be with, like Bob welcomes Harriet into his home with a lot of love. Like he's
Yeah, it's such
not
an
a
interesting
jerk
turn.
there.
Right.
He's like, come on in. Like you're okay.
Yeah, worry about her.
That's actually a really beautiful thing that I love that Jackie shows, which is just like she keeps saying people who are open and kind and accepting and want to create a community are the things that will lift us all up and make
Mm,
it
mm,
better to make us all more able to do what we
that's
want to
right.
do.
Yeah.
Even if it's a Bob.
Yeah.
Even if it's
Even if it's a
Bob's in
Bob.
there,
Bob
he's
has to
in
learn
it. He's
something. Right.
welcoming, at the in that moment in his journey. I thought that was pretty great.
The
Un-
uh the marriage between Harry and Bob is broken when the film starts. What do you think the two of them look like, in their heyday? And what was the straw that broke the camel's back? When did it
It's not
stop?
a Yeah, I think those straws are so sneaky.
And
They're
there's
just
so many
building up, and
straws.
you're
Yeah.
not even paying attention because you're raising a kid and you're doing your thing, and then before you know it, you're buried under a haystack. Like you
Mm.
can't. And I think that she was someone who won an award when she was a student who was going to make films, and she believed in herself. And he says, "You had this spark.
Mm.
What happened to it?" And she's like, "Yeah, our spark is gone." He's like, "No, my spark is still here. Yours is gone." And I think, he worked on, he is a narcissist, not you, but
Yes, yes,
Bob
yes.
was a narcissist, but he did keep his spark alive. He did keep what he wanted in the forefront a little too much.
Yeah.
And she just let hers go and doesn't even remember when. And I think a lot of us can relate to that,
It's tricky.
right?
It's tricky meeting them at the moment when they've sort of turned away from each other, or he's certainly they're not there together. And in
Mm,
that first scene at the dinner table, it's just sort of so evident, like the lack of connection and just the missing. All that missing turns into that big haystack, right?
yeah.
But it is interesting, even with all the missing. Harriet reclaiming herself and her dreams forces Bob actually in a weird way to have to pay attention to it, even if it's in the shittiest way of like, you're doing what with the money from the house? Like, are you out of your mind?
Go to
But now he's paying attention, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
I mean, I also
It's
see
a big
like when
swing.
when she sees her daughter give up on her dreams, that is
Mm,
a hard line for her.
Yeah.
Is what she can't do for herself, she will and must do for her daughter.
mm,
So that is a moment that's sort of eye-opening for
mm,
her.
mm,
Now, I want to try to squeeze in two unrelated questions, one for each of you.
Okay.
Miriam, over the last month, your series Younger has
Yeah.
amassed more views than it ever has had, all thanks to
Crazy.
a resurgence on Netflix. Have there
yeah.
been any talks amongst the series producers or cast about the prospects of, a seventh season? And
Uh,
what might that look like?
I
Seventh season, by the
No, no,
way.
no.
You
It would
can't,
be eight. We
eight.
did 7 seasons.
You can't
Yeah.
say that for
Look, we're all the cast. We're all texting each other and like,
eight.
high fiving and stuff and being so. You just work so hard on something and you believe in it and you love it. And a small, very dedicated group of fans was there for us. But it's just incredible that like now suddenly all these other people are getting to see it. It's this really, really cool moment. I mean, I don't know. I'm just grateful for what it is. I don't have any I'm open to anything always, but I'm always just like, we did this work and I really thought it was great. And I'm so happy that a whole bunch of other people are coming to it now. It means so much. It's really,
Yeah.
really
But
something you don't
unusual.
expect. You don't expect that. It used to be that you could have syndication, and that's not really a thing anymore. So now this is a different form of syndication in a
So
way.
cool.
Now, Josh, you played Director Hayward in WandaVision.
That
Uh,
happened.
and I wanted to ask about so the finale, when it was filmed, it was during COVID. A lot of things were changing, including the finale itself. I was wondering if you could shed some light on, if that finale ever played out differently for your character through all those changes.
It, when we started, it was not COVID. When we finished, it was. I don't remember the script. I guess it did go through a bunch of changes as they all did, but I don't. But I don't. Hey, who's that? I don't,
Sprite.
I can't shed much light because of the shroud of secrecy that is so immense around
Yeah.
Marvel. As to like, wait, my guy created the white vision, like he must live on. And they're like, yeah, maybe he does. We'll let you know,
Yeah.
it's for that. But it
We don't
is,
have the clearance,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, it is like, I mean, Miriam knows this, like, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool to be in the Marvel canon,
Yeah.
as they like to say, and talk about the most incredible fans. I had no idea, like the
Mhm.
depth of knowledge and sort of what that religion is. So pretty, really grateful to have had that, and with an old friend, Matt Shackman, who directed them all, who's somebody I knew from working in his 15-seat theater, originally.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was a cool one. Yeah.
Yeah, and you are almost like you could reach out to Marvel fans for character development.
Yeah. What should I
Yeah.
do? How do I get myself back
Now,
in?
in the recorder Vim, from starting to be like, tell me from which comics book was the one where they,
Right,
they
right.
would be like,
Which
let me
issue?
point you to this
Yeah, which
page.
issue?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hopefully we see Hayward again someday.
Let's hope so. That'd be
Yeah.
nice. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, last question to wrap up. For Magic Hour, at the end of the day, when audiences have watched it, what do you want them to truly take away from the story?
Oh,
You're going.
we just had someone say after I watched this movie, I thought I'm gonna get my script back out and work on it. That is would be, just this belief that like your voice doesn't matter. Don't let the outside world tell you that you can't be an artist because it's only supposed to look this one way, or you can't be anything because it's only supposed to look this one way. Like, there's a voice inside you that is telling you what you want to do. Like, it's okay to listen to it.
Mhm.
You know, that's sort of what would be nice for people to get.
Yep.
And kindness,
And
leading
again,
with kindness. That would be nice
and
too.
against lots of odds, right? That's all of us. Like
Yeah.
how far are we willing to sort of climb? How many challenges are we willing to take on to get to the thing that matters to us most, right?
Yeah.
What Miriam said better than what I just said.
Well, thank you guys both for talking to me about the movie. I hope the premiere goes well, and I hope it stops raining a little bit so you can enjoy it a little bit more.
Oh,
Come on, Santa
I'm
Barbara.
from
Let's
New
do
York. I
this.
was like, it's snowing there. It's going to be
Yeah.
sunny. I'm going to go surfing. No, I'm not. I mean, I could. I don't think it's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Well, thanks again, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week.
Thank you too.
Thanks.
Take
See
care.
you.